세러데이 쇼다운 젠지 스포츠 대 D+ 기아.
DNS's sake, the game itself is going to go very differently, and thankfully it is fearless, so we're not going to have the same picks, but it could still be that Hanja and Brion are just better, which is just crazy to say, especially off the back of their almost win in their 0-2 loss against T1 that we saw earlier on. And I was really hoping that we would get a good performance out of them, because it did look like they had it in them, but it could have also just been the T1 Circus situation, and it looks like that is not the case, as this was just a controlled victory in game number 1.
Well, don't freak out, Draft Music. They did ban Karma. It's okay.
Yeah, Draft Music did confuse me a lot. I was like, did we restart the draft again?
No, the Karma ban came in, and Draft Music had a hiccup, even though we knew it was coming. DN Supers have first pick again. They banned the Rise again, as well as Teddy's Ezreal, so bans remain the same for them. Pantheon, a bigger threat now. So I imagine that will be the ban since we had the Jarvan Xin trade. No, they're more worried about Ashe Seraphine. Now, Quantum is a known Seraphine player. He loves to play Seraphine. He has played a lot of Seraphine, and DN Supers give it to him every chance they can. So they'll leave the Rumble up. And so now it kind of feels like you got to take Vi away here. You can go for Pantheon, but maybe running a Vi draft here and trying to play through Teddy in the early game again could be a strong game plan.
I'm a little bit worried about this. The Rumble gamble you've seen backfire before. There is a
Lulu here going for a Nocturne with no Orianna also.
I mean, there are other things that pair with it. I mean, we do often see it with Aurora, but that's also not available. So just the Nocturne going to be locked in for now. We'll see what they do decide to pair with it. What I want to see is what casting is going to be playing into Dudu's Rumble this time around. I'm hoping that they do actually lock something down before we do get into the next round of bans.
I just don't know what Teddy lane you can really start to put together here. It'll be split, of course, so Teddy is giving a lot of feedback about it.
Oh, the Ambessa problem.
I'm feeling very good about one of these two drafts. I'm feeling a little bit less. I'm feeling a little bit confused about the other one.
Yeah, the problem is there's only one pick that's been locked in the draft that you thought was good. And yeah, like you were saying, the Vi just goes through. Vi Ari.
And it's closer. It's one of his best picks. Hanja, what are we doing?
Well, they are opting in for a more challenging game 2, Wolf. That's what I'm seeing.
Let's see what they can get for Roamer. Like, Lissandra could work. You know, a little divey. What's the plan? They play they pick Galio right now. I might lose. I don't think they're gonna do that. They wouldn't do that to me.
Galio would be kind of funny though.
It would be funny.
That's a Nico. I hate it. Not gonna lie. Really
Nico
not
mid?
enjoying
Okay,
that.
hold on. We could entertain the thought. Nico mid, maybe.
All right. Yeah.
No. Okay, well, let's see what happens, because
Nico Nocturne is powerful.
Yeah, that is powerful.
We do have to say that.
Yeah, we did say that, yeah, or you did say that. Now,
yeah, I've said that.
Yeah. Let's see what they want to do here with the rest of this draft, because for the side of the Supers, there is almost they could play basically anything. Banning range champions for Quantum does seem like a good idea, not only because stylistically he's been way better at that, but also if they have Prio in that lane with this draft, you're just going to be able to do whatever you want as the DN Supers. And for Hanja, they need follow-up to dive, because they have all the engage in the world. They just don't have damage or follow-up just yet, as the Akali would have been amazing. It's now removed.
Yeah, so they don't actually get to answer mid lane unless Roamer is playing the Nico in the mid lane, which we're still pretty sure isn't going to happen.
They don't like it when Xayah can get away from their massive amounts of engage, so they do decide to ban that, which makes a lot of sense.
Yep, decent idea. There is also the fact that, you know, Teddy on a hyper carry in this game feels very good, right? Nocturne is pretty good at giving space to an 80 carry to get some stuff done. Could also be a misfortune angle if they want to play for a little bit more early game. As like you were saying, I mean, the Kai'Sa is a cool ban as well from the DN Supers. Would have fit really nicely with Hanja and Brion's composition.
Does Roamer, does he pull out a Silas or something here? Like, I don't know how much more all-in this draft could be. I mean, Corki seems like the most obvious pick here for Teddy. Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it, Atlas. Okay. Now I kind of want Teddy to play like Aphelios or something.
Yeah.
Something like hyper carry late game, and all the engage is his front line. As this Jhin makes a ton of sense. Strong in lane.
Yeah, I think the Jhin is an absolutely perfect pick. I hate that I have to say that, but I kind of do.
It's so amazing for this draft, though.
Yeah, I'm starting to think now that maybe I need to overlook my hatred of Jhin here in the LCK.
I think they can even go, like, I was going to say Nautilus here, but Jhin Alistar works. I think it kind of works. It's not going to be a fun time necessarily into a lot of the other picks. Now, Teddy goes MF here. I just don't think it's going to work. I think he's considering it, but Ziggs also just doesn't feel like enough consistent damage. Just going Corki. I don't know if that's enough for me.
Not a huge fan of it either.
I liked it more before they locked the Galio, because there was the idea of like Corki, Nico, strong lane. You know, there's going to be some follow-up damage from Roamer, so there's going to be 2 real damage threats here. But now that it's a Galio, the damage threat just doesn't feel like it's there. Whereas also you're playing a very low-range composition. It's 3 melees top side into Rumble, so he's going to be putting that equalizer down. Charm value is insane because it not only can mess up your engage and your entire combo, but it's going to lean into everything else. Like, if you Vi-ult someone, they get Charm, equalizer's on top, Jhin lands that flourish from a million miles away. Like,
and I mean, then there's Headbutt Pulverize, which is already phenomenal follow-up to anything that's ever thrown down, but with all of this AoE that's already there. I mean, we've seen comps like this so many times before, and they just kind of work. I think the DN Supers, like, as far as what the coaching staff could have provided their players, I do not think they could have done any better.
I really don't think so. I mean, you could have gone MF instead of Jhin, and I would have accepted it, but I think Jhin is way better. But there wasn't a whole lot of flexibility. The support role also a little bit more flexible for what they could have done there, but...
Whoa, he was the #1 fan.
Wow, we found him.
Yeah, Dominic, just in the audience. I did not know that he was here at Chijijik Low Park here today. And Dagon had recently told me that he was the #1 fan of Hanja and Brion.
Well, that's
so I guess,
a lie.
Yeah, I guess he was lying because #1 fan right there in the crowd. All right, let's get into it. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game #2. Hanja and Brion versus the DN Supers. Hanja and Brion have decided to up the difficulty in this one.
Yeah, in the draft in isolation isn't great. Like, a lot of time we look at drafts and you're like, well, this draft would be great if the other team didn't have the other things. In this case, I'm like, I don't know if this draft is great because ideally, if you had a Zeri and a Aphelios in this position for Teddy, I'd be like, yes, this champ is going to do so much. It's got so much front line. It's got so much engage. It's so easy to just be the hyper carry that Teddy, by the way, as a player, has always been. Whereas now we're like, okay, 2-item spike, Corki. There's a lot of engage. He follows up with Valkyrie really well. If it was, if they're running this comp completely dive, like, kind of makes sense. Like, I understand the idea. Also, for laning power, stronger than a lot of those other picks. Like, the Aphelios would not have had as fun of a time with the Nico in lane. But it just don't... I don't think that Bro can't win with this draft. It just feels like you said, they made it really hard for themselves in this one. Now, the Nico is doing quite well into Alistar, obviously.
Yep. This is the problem for the DN Supers, is that they kind of sacrifice this bottom lane with this Alistar pick. In lane, you're not really going to be getting too much done. But the DN Supers benefit from everywhere else just being really good. And I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue having a Jhin fall behind.
Yeah, Closer is incredibly good at Ahri. He has already forced a teleport from Roamer at level 2. He is sitting, by the way, at like 60, 70% mana, by the way. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going to do it again. Roamer's like, he really is, isn't he?
Oh, that was a pretty good trade there from Roma this time around. And it's not the Ignite Ahri as well. The problem is it's a teleport Ahri that still has the teleport.
Yeah, that's the thing, is Roamer is really not winning a trade if Closer can just come back at full health. Should be able to get most of these minions. Closer's just going to say, all right, I used my mana, I'll back. It's not the end of the world, but it didn't look great.
Yeah.
But this Galio will do a lot later for Teddy.
Yep.
And for the dive, because Nocturne can be practically anywhere, so can the Galio. And so they can get on top of someone like a Jin who's immobile. Perhaps they can just skip the Vi Ahri part entirely. Just kind of fly over their heads.
Whoa! That was a
flying
flash out.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane. Obviously, there weren't any of the globals available just yet. But
Piotrek with the crab.
Oh dear.
Eventually.
Wait, he didn't. He went back. Okay. Nice work, Gideon. Nailing it.
Cool guys don't look at scuttle explosions.
Yeah, maybe they should because sometimes they survive. Oh dear.
All right, he did ultimately get it. Good job, observers, pointing out that he briefly did not get it. But yeah, I mean, look, I think Bro can pull it off. I think we are a little bit too concerned with what's on the other side. If we just think about who Hanja and Brion are as players, you know, as a team, in their early games, where with great dive like this
comes great responsibility. Oh wait, never mind.
Sort of, yeah. It is. I think they'll do it responsibly.
It's been a while since I've seen Spider-Man, so I might have got the quote wrong. But I thought that it was the same as that. As Dudu silences himself and hurts casting a whole bunch.
You know, back in the 90s and in the early 2000s, every like racing arcade game had the drive responsibly warning. And you know what it means. But in this one, it's, I think, dive responsibly here for Brion. Just make sure they don't overextend. Don't let Duck Dom get too big. Don't let Closer shut everything down to let the Rumble ruin your day. You're going to have to be crisp on the setup because those equalizers can absolutely ruin everything you're trying to do here as Bro. But Gideon's having a great time in this early game.
Really is.
On Nocturne.
Just wanders on over to try and steal this Raptor camp away. He's not going to be able to do so, as Closer might interrupt this back.
By the way,
and he does.
Chicken Galio is dethroned by the skin, I think.
I know, it is a very,
it's really
cool.
sad
like the
because
Galio.
We all love Chicken Galio, but his reign is over.
Yeah, unfortunately, the BBQ Oliver is no longer in the LCK, and so therefore the Chicken Galio skin is also just going to be off the throne. As Teddy and Namgung still having a pretty good time here towards his bottom side, ahead by a little bit of farm. As Namgung just throwing as much poke around as he possibly can. Doctom is looking a little worse for wear, and now Namgung is looking for that angle. There is no jungler in the area, as Gideon's still halfway towards level 6 right now.
They are able to, with that heal trade, kind of keep this wave a little bit closer to their turret. And maybe, if Gideon had 6, that would have been a really strong angle. It's like, you can't farm, Nocturne's going to ult, but because he doesn't have 6, he just backs. And so Namgung is going to lose his health for a ward. Got it, though.
Does get the ward. That is the most important part.
This is the matchup we've been watching the most, and it's not a good thing for Hanja and Brion.
No.
Romer is having a lot of trouble into this Ahri pick right now.
Ooh.
Gideon will get level 6 here.
Rematch. Who's going to win?
I think Gideon's got it. He's got Smite this time.
All right, it's working. Dudu is also finding some angles here as the equalizer goes down. There's a public execution as well, as Gideon with level 6 is looking to make his way in. His paranoia is relatively low range though, and so he decides not to press the button as he wasn't quite able to get in range right when Dudu was susceptible, and will just back away. Flash is still up and available, things like this, so it was not going to be a very easy kill angle to try and take him down, but still, Ultimate's getting traded.
Any Nocturne player will tell you that's the most frustrating thing ever when they're just on the edge.
And they're just walking out of range over and over again. Yeah,
you're pressing R repeatedly, but it's just not doing anything. Yeah. Well, that was a close call for Dudu, let's say.
Yep.
The equalizer placement was a little questionable.
If you do press R, though, at least it does turn the lights off.
I guess so.
The big problem is once you do that and then nothing happens, everyone knows that you've done messed up.
I guess I meant to say if you've already pressed it the first time.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. If he was pressing it repeatedly, it would have gone dark and he would have been even more upset.
Just having really a terrible time.
All right, Closer. Like, observers, let's give Romer some credit, man. I mean,
he hasn't died yet.
Yeah.
There you go.
We don't have to keep showing this. I mean, Closer's having a good time. I suppose you could think of it that way. The observer's just trying to champion one of our best
look,
players.
The DN Supers are behind in the series, so I think championing the underdogs is a pretty cool way to make to try and even things out. That being said, they don't have a very large lead, and I think that now that level 6s have been hit by both this Galio and the Nocturne, you can kind of just send them wherever you want and try and grab yourself a dive.
How many plates did Dudu get? Did he get 2 whole plates on the top side? I'm really curious about that, because he has been sitting on that turret for a while, it seems like. as Gideon has not yet used his paranoia.
Yeah, it was just actually one. So they're one plate apiece there on the top side. Still, he's 10 CS ahead, so that is going to give him that 200 gold lead. As Quantum making his way down, it's a great taunt onto the two of them. Spirit Rush has been used by Closer as the flash out from Roma will get him to relative safety. But still, having to use the flash on this Galio could be a big deal in upcoming team fights, potentially around these grubs.
And I want to say both that Gideon hasn't been very proactive, but also he's been very proactive. He just hasn't been proactive with his ultimate yet, as he does have it, and he is in range now as Quantum goes in.
Yeah, there's the Pulverize. Deadly Flourish goes under the ground, and then the Curtain Call comes in, and the flashless Galio is punished way sooner than I was expecting.
Gideon was just like, sorry, man, grubs are up.
Yeah. And look, can you blame him? It's Gideon.
Yeah, he just...
He do love the grubs.
I don't know if his paranoia would have changed anything there with Pyosik being nearby. Pyosik still has ult.
Well, there's the flash ult from Namgung. Gets on in there. The paranoia goes down, and my goodness, Closer just exploded. Teddy is there, and Quantum, he had the unbreakable will, but he still has to flash himself away. And Roma heads down towards his bottom side to catch the... Never mind, he's heads back towards the mid lane.
I guess...
Catch the wave.
We've learned a few things here. Maybe they should have been more paranoid about Gideon still having paranoia. They definitely were not paranoid, and so that was a problem. Also, grubs seem to be quite distracting this game, as Pyosik is also just does not expect this, so goes to say, all right, well, we got him off grubs, I'm going to take this, but does not actually come over to ult or peel for his team. I don't know if he would have been able to save things there, but I think they would have been a little bit less confident about going in if he was more nearby. Either way, they do get the punish there. Kill goes over to Namgung, but a little bit of assist gold going over to Teddy as well.
There is the fact that Teddy sacrificed a fair bit on the bottom side in order to make that happen, and so you can see the DN Supers do still have a bit of an advantage. That is first blood as well as just farm leads, and the fact that Dr. was able to just have some free time. So good news for the DN Supers in the end, but 3 grubs going over to the bros with this Ambessa. That could be a bit of a problem in side lanes, things like this. It could be problematic, obviously, when you do have a Nocturne. Side laning becomes a little bit easier. Gideon will be able to lock down his Raptors.
Teddy still has flash here, so I don't think they can really make anything happen, but they're at least going to get some deep vision down. Casting.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit confused about people's obsession with the Ambessa into Rumble solution.
Look, if somebody lands CC, she can press R, guarantee she goes through the enemy champions. Sometimes that's a problem, but usually that's a good thing. You go through the enemy champion to get to the target you want.
Yeah.
Can be good conceptually. In this laning phase against the Rumble, so far we're just not seeing it yet, but that's not the main point. Hex Drinker, which again isn't going to help him too much later on either, but he's trying to stabilize here. Same with Roma. They gave themselves a little bit of a tough matchup, a little bit of a tough draft here to pilot. And we'll see if they can explode through the mid game with all these ultimates, because they already got one, right? I mean, sure, kill score is even. It's not all DNS sided here. They're looking for a double dragon in 40 seconds. They have all the vision set up that they would want.
I do like that your cup is half full, Wolf.
I'm trying to do that a little bit today.
Yeah, no, it's working out very nicely. I do appreciate it. As Dr. down here towards the bottom side is just trying to play some weak side Jhin, as you often do see.
Good old Ghost.
Yep.
He was the guy.
And honestly, I mean, they won Worlds, and they were the best team by a very large margin that year. So it does make some sense. Quantum over the wall here does turn out the vision as Gideon still lying in wait, and that Hex Flash doesn't exactly get the value that they're looking for. As Blooming Burst comes in, Teddy with some rockets in hand, but Pyosik, he's got some Dragon on his mind right now.
I mean, there is no prio for Romer, but he has ult, so he could join this fight if we are going to have one. I think Bro, they want to fight with his comp, but they're just not set up to do so. I mean, there's no item for Teddy either. He's just not that strong on the Corki.
Oh, Dudu. Going on in there. That's a public execution now on cooldown. The equalizer's still up there for Dudu, but in goes Gideon. Looks for the angle. Heroic entrance. Not going to get interrupted. Pop Blossom comes on through as they pull the Vi into the sky. And down will go the Nico, but it's a double for Gideon. As now he's looking to try and escape, and Dudu will not allow him to do so. Now Dr. just sends the curtain call through. Roma able to tank a decent amount of these bullets, but it's looking a little worrisome as casting up here towards the top side didn't teleport down, and so that is going to give at least the Drake on over. Hextech sold this game, my goodness.
Good news ends with Gideon's kills, right? Because, and I guess you could give the Mbessa plates, but this fight is super scrappy, and the Mbessa used her ult just moments before. So guess who's like free TP? Nice, it's Dudu. He shows up here, and he's the real big difference maker at the end of this fight. Gideon cannot rejoin his team, and he ends up going down. And now it's a 2-kill Jhin, and they get the dragon. And it's double dragon with great individual dragons. Plus, by the way, it's Hextech Soul. So yeah, big wins for DNS here. I think they are very happy with the end result. And we got some consolation prizes, you could argue.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue it though, Wolf. Even if I can, I am going to opt out because I
think that's a smart choice.
Yeah, they're still sitting in a precarious spot in this game. We do know the bros though, and if there's anything that we know about them is that they are fans of value.
True.
And so this game is just making me feel like they really want to make sure that they give their fans as much game time as possible.
It does feel like, you know, Romer's pulled the Hollowed Radiance out of the dumpster. He's like, well, I guess this could be useful.
Does look a little bit like a...
Because, you know, he's not really going to be doing any damage this game. But that's okay, because Teddy will get it done, right? He's only 670 gold behind.
I mean, casting as well can cause a ruckus. Obviously, was still just isolated in the top lane last time around, so we didn't get to see the Ambessa kind of join. And we know that Ambessa isn't all that powerful in the early stages of the game, but can certainly get some work done as we get later and later. As Quantum is going to take a little bit of poke here from Namgung, but otherwise not too much. And shoutouts to Namgung as well. He hasn't died 11 times this stage of the game.
Hey!
And I'm going to say that that is much better than a lot of the Nico play that we saw yesterday.
That's not very nice, but it's factual.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was more of an objective statement. It wasn't about like the play. It's just the column in the middle there, as far as the score is concerned, is better when that number is lower.
Herald's up. We're fighting.
Yeah, Pop Blossom is going to come on through here, as it is going to be the paranoia into that back line. The Jhin in trouble as Doctarm likely to just die within this sphere as Quantum looks to try and peel, and the Nico is what goes down. And now the curtains are going to get cold. Closer comes on in, and Gideon is just dead as well. Oh dear, I really thought the Doctarm was dead there.
So where did Romer's ult go? I'm a little bit, I kind of missed that. I was only watching a Nocturne try to kill a Jhin who had barrier and flash and a friend.
Yeah, Nania?
Like, Dudu didn't even have to equalize in that fight. I mean, he might have wanted to, but all right, let's watch this again.
You don't want to equalize when you're really far ahead.
Doctarm is the target here, but where does the Galio go?
Let's see.
Oh, he
so
TPs
in and then immediately ults on top of
Teddy, who didn't need him right there. If he ults Gideon, I don't think it necessarily changes the story either, but that was just super split up for Bro. They were the ones who were trying to spring the trap, and they did it so poorly that DNS just end up with a big win, 1.5k ahead now, and now Quantum.
Yeah, teleports coming in all over the place. There is no unbreakable will. This should just be a stake in the top lane, as Quantum will just get cut to pieces. Casting going to collect his first of the game.
And the Herald looks like it's going to go to Breon as well here, because they did not, DNS were not able to get it, even though they got the team fight win. So they get the reset, they get the Herald. Sure, it is going to be a turret going over to the side of the Supers in exchange, and they maintain their gold lead, but Bro get a big win here. They have 3 grubs, which also means that this Ambessa inside's a little bit more threatening than she otherwise would be.
Yep.
As Dudu here, just a little bit of greed. Romer is going to come over here, set up the maximum range taunt, and unfortunately for Dudu, this equalizer is just not going to change the tide. Flash a little bit weird, but we'll look past it. As Quantum also...
Yeah, paying for the sins of his top laner is what it kind of feels like.
I actually thought that the Rumble died initially in this, but did not.
Looked like he should have, but when it's a Galio, it just doesn't do a lot of damage with this current build.
Yeah, he was here this time as well to try to maybe help heal for Quantum, but didn't have his ult because he used it to survive. And, okay, still got Herald. Let's see what they can get with it, because They got that top turret. Mid turret's still very healthy. Is Quantum?
Oh dear, gonna get headbutted back into the Deadly Flourish, but now Doctom has to contend with another Nocturne, and this time he's going to get his prey. Namgung also able to limp his way out as the heroic entrance doesn't exactly find the target, but that's a great Justice Punch, and now Casting getting amongst the fight and is able to lock down the jungler. They do trade it for Gideon, but Casting is going ballistic as Closer has to dash away, and Dudu this time is gonna get wiped out. Teddy's in auto attack range, and Casting can dash for 1,000,000,000 miles. The Flash Frost Bomb, and Teddy locks down a double kill, and Hanja and Brion roar to life at 18 minutes.
And just like that, this composition, which can be incredibly hard to get away from, ends up getting a massive win. It starts off here initially with Quantum in this brush. He has control vision, and he's like, all right, I'm going to set this one up. We're going to start this fight. But he doesn't realize everyone is here, and the Galio can join at a moment's notice. The equalizer here is also really low value. Puts Namgun down to low health, but Teddy, all the CC is gone, and he's just like, all right, just get on top of them. I'll do as much damage as I can. And then Casting, like you mentioned, with all the dashes he has, his mobility allows him to chase so incredibly well here. Roamer getting in, gets the knock up. And this turret is just not enough protection, unfortunately, for the DNS squad here. As look at Casting, he's got all his dashes back. And look at this, Teddy even flashing for the kill. Coach Song super happy.
Oh yeah.
Because this is like the anti-bro game, right? Where they had an early deficit, but they actually made the clutch plays to get back in.
And now they should be able to get themselves their first dragon of the game as well, and denying Hextech Soul Point, such a huge deal in this game. It was one of their last chances to get back into control of this game. And they're not 100% there, it's only a 2,000 gold lead, but still a fantastic step forward here for the squad.
Herald going to be used here in the bottom lane. The mid is just down to one plate, so a lot of gold actually hasn't even picked up here for Bro. That is standing on the map.
Yeah, they do manage to cut down a bunch of these plates in this bottom lane as well, as we just saw. And Roma now building towards a little bit of damage. Should be building the dash cannon first, as Pioshik does find the cease and desist. Flash comes on through as Closer not able to find the charm, as Roma just wanders his way out, gets those upgraded Merc Treads, and he feels very good about the tenacity that they provide.
A little bit aggressive there from Pioshik with the positioning of the Galio there and the turret. Oh, it's still very healthy.
Oh dear. The equalizer was there to try and cut down the wave, but it looks like Dudu is just dead regardless. Gideon able to tank up the turret, and Casting there as well, very happily able to build himself a shield to take that last shot.
Cross map a little bit more powerful than what Pioshik was looking for there on the top side. And this should be Casting getting the last remnants of this bottom turret. The final plate will go down, so a lot of gold to him. He's already picked up a 700 gold lead from that massive team fight. He's got 4 kills in this game.
Oh man, he's got so much magic resist as well. And
yeah,
it's Ari Rumble, and the 80 carry is Jhin. So honestly, this Ambessa is going to be such a problem.
Sometimes when you get that Hex Drinker in lane, it's like, okay, well, this is going to help me a little bit, but it hurts my build overall. It's going to delay everything. But when you get a surge of gold and you can just finish them all, you're like, well, this is actually broken.
Yeah.
This is actually way too strong. In this specific situation, it's very, very powerful. The dash cannon is done for Roamer now.
Oh man, Casting is now extremely strong. Merc Tread's now put together and building towards item number 3.
The
Those
comp
are going to be coming in relatively soon.
The comp of DNS from behind is pretty tough to pilot. There's no backbone for Duckdom to play through.
Well, now I'm looking for an angle here as they get the vision down. Still not overcommitting are the Bros. And the DN Supers, they do get everyone together, but it's not really an opportunity as the Bros decided not to overextend. That character development that we were talking about before is continuing.
They have the threat on Baron. DNS have to, they're the ones who have to check. Now, I think DNS are aware that this comp can't really rush Baron right now, so there's a little bit of wiggle room there, but nice trap was set from Bro, and the whole time Casting is pushing the bottom lane.
Oh, this ward is such high value as well at the bottom of the Baron pit, giving a lot of information over to DNS. This Baron has not been started. They are going to head over there now, though, is what it looked like, but it's not actually the case.
Like, Pro were trying to bait so hard, and DNS are like, okay.
They might be able to get a teleport. That's what they're looking for, as Dudu is in this bottom lane right now.
And right now, Casting is off vision. They don't know where he is. They're pinging repeatedly. They know he's likely there, but DNS are really doing a great job of not panicking in this moment, but they aren't really getting anything back either. But had they just walked into the trap that Bro had set because they panicked, the game would have just ended in an instant.
And as we know, cool kids don't panic, Wolf.
No.
We did learn that many years ago.
Fear X.
Thank you for that. Obviously, they played yesterday and are going to be playing on later in the week, but just having a little bit of that Fear X flavor in today's broadcast.
It's Fear XX today. They're not playing today.
All right.
Cool kids do not play
Yeah.
on this Friday, May the 1st of LCK 2026.
Now, only Sundays and yesterday, I guess. Now I'm going just throws his clone away, but it looks like the Bros happy to slow the game down. 1 minute until this next dragon. Obviously, DNS still with that soul point availability if they do want to get on down there, but the Bros have a 4,000 gold lead now. We saw last time that once they get that gold lead, they very, very, very slowly make it get bigger.
It's crazy how this game turned in just an instant, right? For DNS, it's got to be so demoralizing, as so many of their losses last year were, where it felt like the win was in their hands. Like, not that the game was over, but with this draft, if they had just played a little bit more safely, if they had just not overextended there and gave Bro that huge opportunity for casting to pop off, for, you know, Teddy to get the flash kill there at the end, I felt like this game was fairly simple to play for them. And they already had such huge lane leads. The Rumble was ahead, the Ahri was ahead. And now it's like, oh man, we messed it up again.
Yeah, it's not feeling fantastic as Closer is dashing towards Roma, and Roma didn't notice, is what it kind of looked like there. He will just wander his way out.
I've been tracking it, you know, because we've talked about it a lot here off camera, but we have not yet this entire season had a 6-game day. And I thought with the draft here of DNS and an amazing second series, today could have been the day.
Yeah.
But we're saying, I don't think so, Wolf.
No, the Bros just looking like they're going to be a little too clean with it. Despite the draft deficit, I really hope this doesn't make them feel like this is how you're supposed to do it. Because other teams, I think, would have been able to snowball the mid-game very considerably into this.
I cannot even, like, the decibels of Song's clap that we had on the coach cam earlier was like the loudest clap I've ever heard. He is definitely, I feel like, knowing that this draft was a bit rocky. They were a little bit shaky in its win cons, but like they found the moment, and he should be proud. As another moment here has been found.
Yeah, has to flash to get out of the public execution, but that is going to get Dudu out alive. Still, needing to invest the flash could be problematic, especially when it was only a couple of ultis in exchange. He does hold on to the equalizer. If they can pull the trigger early, then it could be an opportunity. But the Drake is going to get taken here. And the Bros able to equalize things on that front.
It's crazy when you think about also the fact that they had the double dragon with Hextech Soul on the cards, and now it's 2 dragons to Bro. They got everything back, and DNS haven't been able to even approach objectives now. Like, they decided not to approach Baron, which is the right call because they had that extra vision from the ward you mentioned, which is, for them, what keeps them alive in this game. As Romer is like, I don't care about your damage anymore. You cannot really hurt me that much.
No. The shoe's certainly helping out. Spear of Sojin is done here for casting. Hits 3 items on this 402 Ambessa. He's 1,500 gold ahead. Roma might just be dead here, but a teleport is going to come in to try and back him up. He flashes, he dash cannons, he gets under the turret, and now casting gets in amongst 4 people. And Gideon just switches off the lights. Might give them an opportunity here as the public execution up and available once again here for casting. I swear he was going to go back in. As Closer looking to go home.
He has a TP. He may want to use it here. He's going to go to the turret.
Yeah, now Gideon goes in. There's the pulverize, but it's only onto him. And into the backline goes casting. And the Pop Blossom's fantastic. And it's layered on top of the heroic entrance. The double taunt comes down and the double kill for Teddy is the follow-up. Pioshik might be able to get himself out, but it's a triple kill for the Corki. And the Bros just can do no wrong today.
They're so far ahead, but they're so confident with how they're playing this game. Like, they, in that fight, if it was an even game state, I don't think they end up getting that win as big as they did. It was very greedy, the things that happened here. Like, initially the Ambessa coming in behind, like you said, into 4 people was a little bit scary, with the Rumble showing up as well. But Romer survives, and they can turn this into a big opportunity. And casting does massive amounts of damage, then is able to go back for the chase. Gideon does not commit to the second casting of his ult because he doesn't want to go in alone. He wants to wait for some teammates to show up. Teddy gets here, Galio comes back, and then Closer TPs to the turret, so he's so far away. And then this Pop Blossom here is the deal breaker, unfortunately. Quantum and Duckdom left out to dry, and then the other side of the fight is just a complete wash as Romer is back with full health, level 16.
I have to say, Romer as well, layering the ulti on top of the Pop Blossom there so beautifully. The Galio looked a little bit rough in lane, but has since been absolutely fantastic.
He's got his gold lead now.
Yep, 0, 1, and 10 right now. You mentioned the gold, 66 gold. He's a cannon in the lead, absolutely nailing it. As there's a taunt onto the cow. Gideon just offers a Q over the wall. And that is just going to be a dead Quantum. Not a whole lot he can do in that instance. As the curtains have been called, Goshik will just be asked to leave, and he may acquiesce. Let's have a look here as the paranoia comes on down. A very dead Vi is going to be the result as the equalizer not exactly in the most perfect position. Roman trying to set up a taunt as he does just ulti and will be taken out. But that is going to buy them enough time to get the Baron. And Hanja and Brion, even though the Rebel Baron power play is not looking great right now, they do have an opportunity to utilize it relatively
funny
well.
Because like Bro were like, all right, this is a pretty risky Baron. We're going to have to deny them entry, but we can do that. We can stop them from getting in. So everyone except Gideon, and I think it's Namgung who stays, yeah, goes over the wall, and they're like, we're buying time. You guys got that Baron, right? And Namgung is like, Gideon's like, I'm spinning, I'm getting it, I'm queuing over the wall, I'm going to get this Baron, hold on, just give me like just another second here. It's like, we're just trying to buy time. Can you get that Baron? How close is that Baron? And ultimately, the Charm stops the ult here. They do get the Baron. And it's a great play from Bro, though. It's incredibly measured. Obviously, they put bodies between DNS and the Baron. It was a little bit too close for comfort with how low that got, or how low the ones hitting the Baron got, I should say. And they did end up losing the Galio, but they do get the Baron, ultimately.
They do. The thing that I'm looking at here, Wolf.
Yes.
And yes, Dr. Arm got his Infinity Edge, so I was like, wow. That is a bit of a spike. He's gone for the cool build that doesn't have a Ghost Blade in it, which feels fantastic. And then I looked at Teddy's items, and he's got Collector Mortal Reminder and is very close to Infinity Edge. Once he does get the Infinity Edge, like we saw that Flash Phosphorus Bomb, he could probably do that when a DNS player is on full health and kill them outright.
Flank with Blast Cone and Nico ult.
Yeah, in goes Gideon. The heroic entrance comes on down as well as there is the Gargoyle crashing on in there. They do manage to take down the Nocturne, but Casting is now spinning around the fight. Will take down Dr. Arm as in goes Romer. He does get knocked up with that Pulverize, but Teddy is just able to Valkyrie in aggressively, takes down Dudu. And that is 2 of the damage dealers now just lying on the floor. I
was going to say, if Coach Voice still exists, I think the DNS coaching staff, Odin would be in there being like, I forbid you to press tab. Don't look at the items. And then after that rocket came through from Teddy, he would probably say, I like the team to close their eyes for the remainder of the game. As, yeah, this is a fantastic engage here. The follow-up from Romer, amazing, right? Duckdom is the one who gets caught by Casting. And he survives for a little bit there, but that's the end of it. And then watch Dudu get sniped here by Teddy. Teddy's like, nah.
Yeah, that was a big one.
He would have known that was coming if he pressed tab and saw his items, but hopefully he wasn't doing that.
God, that is triple Hextech Dragon. There's 5 minutes until a possible Hextech Soul Wolf, but I just don't know whether this game has Oh, wait, hang on. It's a bro game.
Yeah, they... on average, they got about 4 left.
Yeah, there's that Infinity Edge for Teddy. He's 8-0-6, absolutely legendary. We know that Teddy just in general as a player is pretty legendary, but now he's actually legendary in this game. So that is kind of nice.
I want to talk about the draft because we were so low on it, right? Well, I did mention at the beginning, like it kind of doesn't work necessarily in isolation, but when you get ahead with it, and everyone can just press R at the enemy champion, specifically Duckdom, it goes hard. And
I mean, I don't think we've ever hated the bro draft that much. It's just the lack of like bro denying things from DNS was the biggest problem here. As you know, Rumble Vi Ari is just such a powerful combination.
It's just when
maybe
Nocturne...
if the Jhin lane was not this susceptible, right? Because with an Alistar, you're hoping that the Jhin can sort of help get you through the early game. But instead, we've seen things like the Jhin Bard or Jhin with an Enchanter, something that's a little bit more aggressive that can actually win, which would have been a little bit better. I think the Bard was banned in this game, and it was. But there were other things they could have potentially played to try and at least be a little more aggressive. Is Namgung? He's in a bit of a rough spot.
I think if they had just been able to hold on to their lane leads and get to a more stable mid-game and play through Ari Vi and Rumble Ultimates, Bro wouldn't have had all these opportunities. But now they're just so far ahead, they can do whatever they want, frankly. And they're going to do exactly that.
Yep. Pressing the Paranoia button as Quantum just takes half of his health bar immediately. Doesn't actually press R, though, so that could be a big deal. as they will have that available for a fight upcoming.
Okay, level 16 for Duck Dom. Like, I don't, anything is broable, and, you know, that means a lot of different things. This season it means throw. But, you know, up to interpretation in other seasons.
Oh, I mean, maybe not today.
But, like, I just don't think this is a game that you can lose from here as bro.
I mean, something, like, it could be broable, it could be, like, it could be a let's bro, you know, in this situation. And that's what it's kind of looking like if Game 1 told us anything. And now they have a 9,000 gold lead.
How is the bro slogan not "Let's brucking bro"? Come on. Should be like "Let's brucking bro."
I love that.
Come on, let's make it a thing. We can do it.
Right.
I can say that on air. It's crazy. Forget LFG, man. It's just BBB.
Oh, man, it is BBB. And Namgung is using the Biko skin as well. So, like, I mean, there are so many layers to this. All right, Dudu has done a lot of damage. I don't know how much it's actually meant in this particular game.
It's a little bit of sadness. I don't want to, I mean, look at the gold for Teddy. And if you're a DNS fan, don't look at it.
There's a lot of people that are saying, let's brocking bro. I love it.
Yeah, you can say let's or you can say Brett's. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Brett's brocking bro, I think, is absolutely beautiful. Brotiful. If you put enough bro into a sentence, the sentence just becomes bro, 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 and you're just a Pokemon that's called bro.
Yeah, which is totally fine.
Which maybe that's a spoiler for what's coming out in Wind and Waves. But I don't quite know the roster just.
Quantum, you don't want to be here, but someone has to be somewhat nearby the Baron.
Someone needs to do wards.
Because Baron plus Hextech Soul with 4 Hextech Dragons sounds pretty tough to beat, if I'm honest. I feel like this game is setting up to be like the craziest comeback of all time with all the
Imagine if it happened though. Remember?
Yeah, DNS have done it.
Exactly. The biggest comeback was Bro versus DNS. All right, Paranoia comes down. That is going to guarantee the Baron. The comeback's surely incoming. Still waiting for it. As Closer's ultimate is about to time out, does throw down one of those charges. Is Casting just wandering on in. They don't want to engage onto him, but he wants to engage onto Dudu, who throws down the equalizer and goes golden. Into the GA goes Pyoshik before really being able to press any buttons at all. I think the Unbreakable Will was running, but Teddy didn't seem to notice as he did 1,500,000 damage.
TP back home, run away!
Yeah, that precisely happened.
Please
Doc Tom is
defend.
like, guys, you didn't need to press that button. They're not chasing us. They're just trying to kill our Nexus.
They are chasing the teleports to the base now, though, and it is a 5v3.
Yeah. The curtain call is named awkwardly here as Dudu is going to get knocked up, doesn't have his hourglass anymore, and he will be taken out. It's a kill going over to Roma as Namgung holding Doc Dom in position, who does flash to get himself out of the way, and there's the Paranoia into the fountain, and the execute onto Gideon at 2-0 for Hanja and Breon as they close out the first round robin here in the LCK in 9th place. He was like one of the first Ambessa winners as well.
Yeah.
I think winning on that is by not even ulting the Nico. He ults even further forward, so he's sort of zoning at the same time. Really, really beautifully done. So going to have a listen to the bros as they close this one out. The curtain call, a little bit sad this time as Dudu, without his hourglass, as he used that in the previous exchange. Just not a hope in heck of getting out of this one. And once again, another loss for the Rumble. I didn't mind the draft at all. Going to say once again, I don't think draft really played too much of a part.
I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, and this composition from DNS required a snowball. You saw that they tried to get it started. The bros didn't care. They just stayed calm and then won.
One mistake, like what we saw there from DNS.
Can you see where the mistake was?
Yeah, you could see it very clearly. One mistake and that's it. Like that whole composition can fall apart and bro could be completely unlocked. Teddy, 2 games back-to-back, getting massive value, being played through, and getting huge leads. I assume he's going to get the PLM, but I would love for Casting to get it. He does get it. I mean, 0 deaths across the series.
What the heck? 16-0-10 for Teddy. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the when in doubt, vote Teddy makes a lot of sense when you're talking about the bros. But